All right, folks, let's welcome you to another edition of the Punch Viewpoint with me, Jefferson. It's on Punch FM 106.7 and Punch TV Live. Wherever you view us from on Punch TV and however you're listening to us on Punch 106.7, we'd like to say welcome to this Tuesday, November 21, 2023 edition of the Punch Viewpoint. That's the Punch Viewpoint only on Punch 106.7 FM. My name is Jefferson. Tonight, hopefully, we will be having with us joining us from the United States, the former Assistant Minister for Public Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sylvester Peewee. Hopefully, he will be joining us tonight on the Punch Viewpoint. But tonight, we want to keep the ball rolling by extending our DPS condolence to those who lost their lives following the tragic incident that occurred at the headquarters of the Unity Party on yesterday night. That's during celebrations yesterday night at the headquarters of the Unity Party in Monrovia. That singular act was so devastating that another Liberian citizen would have the slightest thought or devilish thought of such a form and manner to board a vehicle and run across a gallery of people. That singular act is so devilish, is so wicked, and we don't know what kind of description to use on such an act. That was so terroristic. It's an act of terrorism that should not be tolerated in a society like ours. So sad that we'll be having such an experience at this juncture in the history of our country. Sad moment. So our hearts are with the bereaved families, those of them, the people who lost their daughter and sons. We extend deepest sympathies to you. And those in similar vein, those who are critically ill, those who are under critical conditions, we wish them speedy. We wish them speedy recovery. We wish them speedy. We wish them speedy recovery. You need to check your messenger. Can you go to your messenger and just click? Go to your messenger page and click. You will be logging. Okay, so let me call you back. Let me call you back. So and let's appreciate also the president elect who paid the GFK a visit today to empathize and sympathize with the victims. Hats up to the president-elect and his team for shouldering the responsibility to visit the GFK Medical Center today to empathize and sympathize with those who are under critical conditions, and to sympathize with the families of those who lost their loved ones. This is so insane. Yesterday incident was insane. So we're gonna be looking at what has been happening since yesterday, the investigations of the police, how far they've gone, and the two individuals involved. The father who quote unquote turned himself over to the police for investigation under the disguise that he's a unity partisan, and the other fellow, because there are two Lawrence Williams that are involved here. There are two Lawrence Williams involved with this. They have been linked to this act of terrorism. So we're gonna ensure that we dig out who is deceiving the public. You know, uh, people from the other side have been following a lot of posts of Akaris Gray and the other people writing all kinds of stuff, trying to. Let me take this break and see. I'm sure my guest is facing some technical problem to join from the US. So let me take this break and speak with him. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, in seconds rather. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Yeah, okay. Let me see you now. You come on so I can put you on. Okay, I can't see you. In the corner.
Yeah, I want to also talk. Don't put me. Oh, yeah, that can read something quick. You there?
Then mute your side. Mute your side. Mute your side. Yeah. Your mic now. All right, folks. I've got my guests. I have my guests now on the show. So, Honorable Sylvester Peary, good evening and welcome to the Punch Viewpoint on Punch 106.7 FM and Punch TV Live.
Good evening to you, and good evening to our very wonderful listening audience.
It's like you are muted. Let me see. You
No,
need
I'm
to
not.
unmute before you speak, please.
I'm not muted. I've just unmuted
Okay.
myself. Can you hear
Okay.
me now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yes. A wonderful good evening to our very resilient listeners. Let me say a wonderful good evening to all of us. It's a wonderful time. Excuse me for the tone of my voice. It's not that it best. I'm under the weather, but again, it's a wonderful time to be with you, Jeff.
Thank you so kindly for accepting to join me tonight on the Punch Viewpoint, and it's your main appearance on Punch FM and TV. We hope that this will not be the last. You're gonna make continuously make appearances here.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to having a wonderful interactive section with you, Jeff. I've always been with you. from the days from 2FM, Freedom FM, and now Punch FM. It seems to be. I will have to find something work for it. But on
Okay.
the most serious note, I look forward to this is the democracy that we try to protect, and we will always, time to time, be on the show to protect the country democracy and speak for the people of Liberia. I'm a very progressive kind of person. We are the neo progressive, so we should always be proactive in terms of discussing the democracy of our country. So yes, I'm looking forward to having most of this kind of interaction with you time to time, and I will be very open to talk to the people of Liberia and talk to matters concerning the upliftment of the Republic of Liberia. It's our only, very, very, very much only pepper bush we have, and we all should strive to protect it. And that's part of the reason why I'm here today.
Great. Now, just before you could come on, I was speaking to the visit of the president-elect to the John F. Kennedy Medical Center today. He went there to empathize and sympathize with the victims who were involved in that singular act of terrorism yesterday at the headquarters of the the Unity Party. Now, so there are a couple of things I want to talk about. Then you can come in with your own opinion as well. The first thing I want to state here is that there are people. There are two people that have been linked to this situation. There are two Lawrence Williams. There are two Lawrence Williams. Now, the first Lawrence is Lawrence K. Williams. The one who turned himself over to the police yesterday is Lawrence K. Williams. Now, from what I've gathered, he he placed himself under the condition that he's a unity partisan, and so he was so sorry about the situation, and so he turned in himself to police for investigation. Now, there is another Lawrence who is Lawrence Kesse Williams. Lawrence Kesse Williams. Now, let me tell you the differences. Let me provide the difference between these two individuals. One, the Lawrence Kesse Williams is a unity partisan. He has the picture of Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka, the president-elect, on his profile. On his profile. This Lawrence Kesse Williams, as we speak, Honorable P, he's in Germany, he's in Europe. This Lawrence Kessel Williams we're talking about now, he's in Germany, he's in Europe, and he had a disclaimer podcast. I'm going to play a couple of minutes of what he said, disclaiming this his link to this barbaric incident that took place yesterday. Now, and his date of birth is April 5. This Lawrence Kessel Williams, his date of birth is April 5. Now, this Ola Lawrence, who is in Liberia, who turned himself over to the police, under that guise, disguised that he's a unity partisan, he's Lawrence K. Williams. His date of birth is July 11th. His date of birth is July 11th. Now, you observe that this is a syndicate. Now, when you go on this Lawrence K. Williams page, you see that he's wearing a beret. He's in a military outfit. One of the pictures on what you see on his page is where he's dressed up in a militant dress code with the CDC beret on his head. This is the fellow who presumed or who made the police to believe that he's a unity partisan, conflicting, providing conflicting sources. Now, if it was not going to be detected that he is not the Lawrence Kessel Williams of the Unity Party, in fact, before it could be detected that he is not the Lawrence Kessel Williams, we all believe that he's obviously a Unity partisan, and what happened mistakenly. Until the moment Lawrence Kessel Williams said he's not in country, and the person that is claiming to be him, he's not the one, then that raises concern, eyebrow, about what is happening. Eyewitnesses, accounts from yesterday of people who were on the scene said this vehicle was parked up the hill, no license plate. This individual, before he could carry out this act, put his lights on, switched his lights off, and ran into the gallery. Those are the accounts of witnesses who were, or those who were part of the gallery yesterday at the headquarters of the Unity Party. Now, I listened to the police. Let me play a portion of the press conference today that the Liberia National Police carry out. And let me play the voice of police spokesman Moses Carter. And we intend to place a call to him. Now, this fellow, this Lauren Kessler Williams has disclaimed that he's not the one. He is the Unity partisan. He's not in this country. He was never at that place. In fact, he left this country since May. He's out of Liberia since May of this year. So it's not possible that he can be in Germany, in Europe, and be in Liberia at the same time to go and cause mayhem for his fellow partisans. To go and cause mayhem for his fellow partisans, whether by mistake or by accident, whatever the case may be, he's not here. Now, this other fellow, this other fellow, he's in Liberia, he's a citizen, he's a Weashan. He's a Weashan, but he's claiming to be that Lawrence Kessler Williams, who is in Europe. He's claiming to be that fellow, and he's a Unity partisan. And the situation happened mistakenly, so he turned himself over to the police for investigation. This is what is happening. But let's play just before you come in, Honorable Pee-wee. Just before you come in, let me play an excerpt of the police press conference today. I'm not even sure they even conducted any investigation because that thing they said. Let me play it. Let me not jump the gun. Let me play what the police spokesperson said today. Okay, I'm sure. Where is it? Okay, this is it.
Leaving 25 persons injured.
Okay, so that was an excerpt of the Liberal National Police investigation that they've kicked off into the horrible incident yesterday. Now, so Honorable Pee, you've listened to the account of the Liberal National Police. Let's listen to the account an excerpt of the account of this other Lawrence Williams, who is not in Liberia, but who is believed to be the one, the Unity partisan who carry out this horrific act. Let's listen to just an excerpt of. But the fact is that the incident or accident that happened.
I'm not getting it. I didn't even get the Liberia National Police side. Jeff, are you hearing me?
Yes, I am hearing you, but I don't know why you're not hearing. Why you're not getting the audio?
I didn't even get the audio from the Liberia National Police. But again, if you can just, I mean, you just need to briefly say what basically unfolded as per the findings of the Liberia National Police. But again, listen to what you said clearly. What unfolded last evening. But again, let me wait for you to call me anyway.
Yes.
But
So
I didn't get that. I didn't get the audio. I don't know what's the problem.
okay, so let me. I will get to you. I will get to you to I will have to go over maybe a bit and pieces of the two audios. But for those who are listening via radio, let me play the account of the fellow who is in Germany.
Those who got involved in the accident, by this time, most of their friends could have, friends or family members or loved ones could have done something different to me. But the fact is that the incident or accident that happened yesterday, people are linking it with me. I'm not even in Liberia. I'm not in Liberia. As I speak to you, I'm in Germany. I'm in Europe. It's kind of very dangerous. Why if I was in Liberia by this time? My father called me and it was almost like shedding tears. Why if I was in Liberia by this time? My brother Luther, what's up, bro? Why you coming on? Mommy, how about?
Okay, so let's leave it at that. Honorable Pee-wee, the account of this fellow, the Lawrence Kessler Williams, I'll forward you. Let me forward the video to your WhatsApp so that you can have an access to it. I will forward the Liberia National Police episode of their press conference as well to you so that you can also have access to them. But the account of the Liberia National Police says they have kicked off investigation into the horrible incident that occurred yesterday at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. And they've also they announced that 3 persons have died. They confirmed that 3 persons have died, a female and 2 males, while 25 persons are under 25 others are under critical condition. That is the account of the police, and that they assured the public that they will do everything they can to bring the perpetrator to book and that justice is served to the victims and their families. Now, the account of Lawrence Kessler Williams is that he's in Germany, he's in Europe, and he has absolutely nothing to do with the horrific incident that took place at the headquarters of the Unity Party. He went on to say that it is true that he and the fellow who committed the act have the same name, but the difference is that he is Lawrence Kessler Williams and the fellow in Liberia is Lawrence K. Williams. Now, these two folks, if you go to the Facebook page, and we are observing that Lawrence K. Williams, the perpetrator, his Facebook account has been deactivated. You can't get anything from his Facebook account. But before he could even do that, or before his co-conspirators could even do that, to deactivate his Facebook account, we've already gotten hold of all of the information as well. So these are the accounts of these two individuals. The other one in Liberia turned himself over that he's a Unity partisan. If you check his Facebook page, you will see Joseph, the president's picture on his profile. But if you, those of us who, before they could deactivate his page, that went to his page saw the otherwise. And people who felt that this Lawrence Kessler Williams, who he's claiming to be, when you go to the page, you will see obviously that this Lauren Kessler Williams is a Unity partisan. He has the profile as his profile picture. He has as his profile the picture of the president-elect Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka. So my question to you, Honorable Pee, what do you make of these different uh, 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 accounts to this horrific incident that took place yesterday? You also listen to the account of the police. They've kicked off investigation, but this is the disclaimer that has come from this fellow who also claimed to be the original supporter of the Unity Party, but he's not in Liberia. He's somewhere in Europe. What can you say to these accounts?
Oh, oh yes, oh yes. It was a very prudent thing to do by the fellow, by Mr. Lauren Kessler William, and that is supposed to be in Germany. It's obvious that he will move in and quickly do some clarification that he's Lawrence Kessler William. He supports the Unity Party, but he needed to clarify that he's not in country because this situation were attributed to him. It was very prudent on his part and very, very much timely to have done said clarification. But yes, the first and foremost thing before even going into the details of the discussion, and let me categorically condemn, outrightly condemn it, the situation yesterday. But again, before we want to condemn it first and foremost, and also extend my heartfelt sympathy to those that were hurt in the process, particularly the bereaved family and the rest of it. And I will talk and have that with them in this kind of a difficult time. We would love to again um, pray to the Almighty God to have speedy recovery on those that are currently on a critical condition or responding to medical treatment in our medical facilities back in the country. So yeah, that's the first phase to do. Again, I, I did not go on the same, and there's nothing basically that I got in terms of investigation that can come to me to say, hey, this issue it was intentionally done or not. But the first and foremost, if it seems to be that the Lauren Kessler William is not in country, and the other fellow is purporting to be Lawrence William, and it's unfortunate, and that should be condemned and heavily condemned by all reasonable and patriotic Liberians. So this situation is condemnable. Now, I will move quickly now to call on the security apparatus to do their own independent investigation, deploy all the forensic science that you have at your disposal, and ensure that you come with the investigation, talk to our witnesses on the scene. They will prepare your investigation and ensure that you can still protect the crime scene, get the vehicle, and do some run around the vehicle alongside with the Ministry of Transport, and then you get some real understanding as to what unfolded. But again, this key here that we currently, some of us that studied in the security area can be very mindful of this kind of a thing to just run with conclusion, because we first and foremost we have to wait and see what are the outcome of the investigation. We need to conduct what we call the evidence preparatory processes is very clear in terms of how the security are going to move to come up with their fundings. I don't want to only want to jump the gun, but first and foremost, Jeff, I would clearly say the situation last night was quite unfortunate. We lost pressure Liberian citizens, and the rest of that. There are some currently battling on the issue of life in hospital. So I would love to categorically extend my heartfelt sympathy to them and best wishes to them. But if it is any way around, it was any motive, sinister motive behind this process, and an ulterior motive behind this process. If it were orchestrated, if this is tantamount to domestic
Okay,
terrorism,
Honorable Pee, let me hold you and speak with police spokesman Moses Carter. Mr. Carter, go. But yes, yeah. Let me just hold you. Yeah, Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, are you there? Okay. The police spokesman Bolio is in the entertainment center.
yeah. So basically, as I was saying, so that's it. But again, I think we will want to wait on the police investigation. Something I will refer to that they should push our expedition investigation to this process. But it's quite unfortunate where folks as they were anticipating this, celebrating
But
it more.
this disclaimer from Lawrence Kessler Williams, do you think is helpful to the investigation?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Yes, in terms of those of us that say the signs of those, as I said to you, it's very helpful. That's why I say we're very prudent on his part to have done the clarification. It will now help the investigators to have a clue as to how they will move on this process. If this is if it was maliciously planned by the perpetrator, or it was just a kind of an accident that unfolded, that he didn't have control or no right. So if it is that, we should have the necessary forensic science deployed, and those forensic individual will have to deploy the necessary mechanism, and will have to do some check on the vehicle to find out if there was issue. The fire service will have to also be deployed to in some evidence gathering in terms of
In fact, the vehicle was set
the motive. No,
ablaze.
we first and foremost got to realize the motive behind the fire. Now, was the fire as a result of the accident, the forceful impact, the collusion there? The investigators will have to move in to see if it was, now if the attempt was another action on the vehicle, it was deliberate. Investigators can find that also and unravel those facts and then come also
And
conclude.
that's a salient point. Is it that the unit partisan were aggrieved and set the vehicle ablaze, or the syndicate? Because if this happened, if he leaves the car, then
Exactly.
his colleagues, some of those people who are aware of this,
Exactly.
set the vehicle ablaze to destroy evidence.
You know, we are open to, we investigators are open to different there's just mechanism of investigative posturing that will unfold, right? But it may come from twofold. Now, out of the angry crowd may have said, I blaze the vehicle is one. I'm saying either, or the accident himself. If it's alleged, I mean, the alleged accident himself, because it's still alleged that he may have done it, it may have been an accident, or it was deliberate. But if it is an accident matter, then the investigator will have to come with a clue from there. We'll have to find out first and foremost what unfolded in the process. Now, the vehicle, now, there's three instances here, Jeff. Now, did the vehicle get gutted by fire due to the impact of the collusion, right? It's one. Did the angry mob set the vehicle ablaze? Or was it orchestrated by the individual himself to get off? So these are ways that the investigator would deploy those tactical investigation skills to come up with findings for that. Then that will help them significantly in coming with findings for the process of ensuring that, yes, we need to have this process done, and this is how the process should have gone. So, yeah, but by and large, it's quite unfortunate that we have 3 life lost, 3 precious life under those kind of a circumstances where people should move in to celebrate, very euphoric, celebrating, enjoying themselves. Unfortunately, they are now in hospital. Some of them are now in the mortuary. It's quite unfortunate, and we will extend our heartfelt sympathy to the bereaved and best wishes to those that are trying to recover from this nightmare that engulfed them last night. It's unfortunate, but if it is established that it was intentionally done or done on motive, I think the law should take its full weight on that person. But if again it's established by investigators that it was an issue that came from an accident or uncontrollable situation that may have unfolded, yes, then we need to. So for now, I'm going to jump the gun to say it was maliciously done. But what I will say first and foremost is like send sympathy to the bereaved family, best wishes to the angel, and what they wish them speedy recovery and moving on to the process. But again, I would say to the United Party and the bereaved family, sympathy to them on the loss of their partisans and the loss of those loved ones, that those that lost their loved one and those that are currently in hospital. But we need to wait for the fundings first and foremost for some of us, our both current. Before I even wrong with this kind of a thought process, but with the kind of training I'm currently going through, yes, I would want to push that first and foremost we have the findings and before we can come out at a conclusion.
Yeah, you are quite correct. We can't rush with conclusions. We have to give the police and investigators the time to do their work and then brief the public. That's why the police press conference today. They ask for comment in public and let the public give the police the chance to carry out the investigations. Now, when this incident took place yesterday, Unity Party supporters were accusing CDC for being the mastermind of this catastrophe. They accused, and all of these posts from Unity Partisans were sending accusing fingers at the CDC and Mayor Jefferson Koji, that he's the one that allegedly orchestrated this. And when this fellow turned himself over, the story changed. The story changed, and so seditionists then started attacking, started posting and saying that you pay your own self, your own partisan, uh, ran into your supporters only to blame or to paint the CDC government bad. Now, upon and one of the notable individuals in the government of the CDC who has been running with this is Honorable Kairos Moses Gray. Now, this is what he posted 13 hours ago. He said, accusation by some panelists on the Spoon Talk that CDC orchestrated the death of supporters of the UP celebrating their victory is reckless and do deserve the legal action with immediate effect. Good that the vehicle driver is arrested. This arrested vehicle driver has claimed to be a unity partisan only for it to be uh, uh, after thorough uh, investigation, it turns the other way around that he's actually not a unity partisan. He's a sedition, as a matter of fact. Now, 4 hours ago, this is what Honorable Karis Moses Gray posted. When the driver of the car got arrested by UP securities and they realized he was a UPist and went on an assignment for a UP lawmaker elect who was attending their program, they chose to cover up. Now, Honorable Gray is saying that since the fellow is a unity partisan, quote unquote, the unity party is trying to cover up this deadly attitude. It was too late, according to him, to conceal the identity of the driver because the driver was publicly crying, "Don't kill me, as don't kill me, as I am one of you guys and came to do a work for one of UP lawmaker elect." It was an internal plot to shift blame on the CDC, like some panelists did on Spoon Talk last night, but the plot failed big time. These, my friends from UP, are the real killers and been lying on government for long, but God has exposed them. Yeah, these are the words of 4 hours ago of a representative, Algorithm District 10 representative Honorable Karash Gray. And he referenced one Mr. Amara Conan, a senator elect, wrote 5 hours ago on yesterday. Greg Coleman, A.B. Kramer, and Sam Gay interviewed the suspect, his wife, and the motorcyclist who took him to safety to avoid mob justice and later turned him in. This was an accident. Let's pray for the victims. And the other account post from Mr. Amara Corner is that let's not rush to a conclusion about the incident at the UP headquarters last night. It might have been an honest accident. We should be worried about a no-show by the LMP. It was a UP security that arrested the driver and turned him to the LMP. Please stay calm. I'm sure these accounts of Mr. Amara Kome is the one. Amara Kone is the one that is being used by Mr. Karish Gray to make all of these posts he's making. Again, it is because that Unity Partisan had accused them of being the one masterminding this, and he has it was also incumbent upon them to use this situation now that the fellow has said he's a Unity Partisan to also lash at the Unity Party. Do you agree? What do you make of these assertions of the algorithm shooting lawmaker on the Bakaris Gray?
Let me put it this way. I wouldn't want to go by none of the sentiments coming from both sides of the political divide, right? So I'm now putting on my professional investigative skills back to bear here. This matter is clearly the fact that the security forces are currently conducting their own sort of investigation. Now, mind you, this is political. These political sentiments will be played from both sides, right? And in terms of what unfolded. But I will look at it from a professional perspective and want to push the security forces to do what I refer to as independent investigation and come up with their funding in a more expeditious manner. That will help allay the tension and will try to identify basically where the fault came from and where the problem came from. This situation was deliberate now, then the situation, these were the comments coming from the former finance minister things that he said, folks should not rush to a conclusion. It may have been an honest an accident, mistake, oozing from an accident process, right? And from the other perspective, as to who somebody shipping blame as one is killer, because to prove that one is a killer, you need to have a prima facie. You need to prove someone have killed before. So that's why I'm saying to you that I really want to go to those things, because if people will want to just speak to issues, say the real killer of that, to prove that Mr. X is a killer, I need to come out and exhibit some proof that Mr. X killed before and he was convicted, and the findings that he's a killer. But in the absence of those things, this mere speculation, just political shenanigans, is not where someone's going to go, right? So this is the process. So what I will push onto this matter quickly, Jeff, is that we allow the security forces to conduct, and that's what I'm saying. The conduct of the investigative process, we have to be not only expeditious, but we have to be very, very much clean. The investigators, we have to come clean and conduct the professionalism and to come up with the findings to say this process was was intentionally and maliciously orchestrated to hit these exuberant and euphoric partisans, or this issue was just unfortunate that it was unavoidable. It was a kind of an accident that took place that led to this very unfortunate fracas. So again, we will have to give investigators the time and the room to do their investigation and get them the tools, footage of the necessary tools that will put into place the necessary investigative mechanism that will help them to uncover what may have went wrong last evening. Again, so when the information started developing, then they were still very fluid. What I did, I stayed clear of trying to, when the news first came out, it was alleged on Spoon that 15 persons got killed, right? So when I first heard the news, someone even called me and say, hey, are you getting the news out of there? Where are you? What part of Monrovia are you? Where are you? Are you in Simcoe? Are you in Bannersville? Are you in Dixville? Are you home? I said, hey, this is we just got information on Spoon that 15% got killed on Broad Street. And I was shocked about it. It was terrifying, right? Because those kind of information, first and foremost, what you do is that you deploy your investigative skills to start to ascertain the facts. Now we started getting the reality. The information is today that unfortunately 3% got killed. Even one person to die under this kind of condition is unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. That's the reason why I extended my deepest condolences and best wishes, deepest condolences to the bereaved family, and best wishes and speedy recovery to those that are currently in hospital in critical condition and going on to other sort of treatment. But it's quite unfortunate, and we will have to allow the security forces to conduct a come over expeditious funding in this matter. If it is established that it was not a kind of accident, then the law should have to take a course.
Great. Let's make progress now. The government you once worked for is about to be a former government. You were you once served as assistant minister for public affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the government has lost an election in its first term since its election in 2017. Now, I listened to gracefully the president conceded even before the official pronouncement from the National Elections Commission yesterday. And on Sunday, while he went to preach, there were a couple of things he said. One that I want to bring to your attention is that he blamed ministers, the actions of ministers, as some of as pertinent to why his government or the government lost this election. And if I want to bring this to your attention, if he say ministers, then I want to make a direct reference to a ministry which you resigned from, and the minister there, Maxwell Kimia. What can you say? What can you say? Can you agree with what the president has said? I'm not saying you resign from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs because you had issues with Maxwell Kimia, but this is the president that is saying that the ministers also helped his government to not succeed during the just elections.
I listened to the president, and again, let me commend the president for being very democratic in its process. the president did concede to the president-elect Ambassador Joseph Human Boakai, the president-elect of the Republic of Liberia. Now, as part of the reason we have the president democratic credential and the democratic credential of the Republic of Liberia is suing, right? It's part of the reason, and I think that's it. We are now the model of democracy in Africa, in our region. That is wonderful, and the president did the best thing. That's the rule of engagement. That is the rule of democratic contestation. If you did not win, you say, "Hey, I didn't win, Mr. Jefferson. You won. Congratulations to you, Mr. Jefferson." That is the rule. That is the process. That's the major element of democracy. Yeah, to concede into a major contestation. That's part of the process, and I'm very pleased about that. Now, for the president to do that, is kept our democracy on course, well on course, and also the entire peace process is solidified. We're no longer a fragile democracy. No, we are just a thriving democracy now. We refer to it. But for the president to state here that part of the reason of the defeat, he attributed them to some of his cabinet ministers. I would agree with the president, but where I would differ quickly with Mr. President is that I thought he knew some of those things. He should have taken some actions to, to quiet some of those unfortunate situations. But it's true what the president said. He's right that ministers and the rest of that, because if ministers in institutions of government and in communities weren't keeping to the vision of the
But he
vision
had the
bearer
power
himself.
to cite them, to dismiss
Precisely.
anyone
Yeah,
who at
yeah,
that time, because
precisely.
there were concerns from the public, and even the CDC themselves
Yeah,
cried on
precisely.
these ministers.
Yeah, precisely. So if the president were to admit that now at this time, I think, but it's part of the way maybe he didn't exert the powers of the presidency in terms of Article 56 of the Constitution, because all of those ministers serve at the will and pleasure of the president, right? But again, it's true what he said that he will have to change the mode if he were to come back 2029, and then he showed that the best way forward we want to move. But again, it's quite unfortunate because there are some ministry and agency and institutions that you see today. For instance, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as you said an example, you had the minister and his deputy minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Harold Formula, who unfortunately got dismissed quite recently. They were able to speak talking term for more than 2 years, and there are a lot of existing ministers and other in the ministry and the rest of that. So I mean, if the president were to come out and say that today, it's just unfortunate. Again, that ministers didn't help, but I think because ministers are appointed, they are major auxiliary to the presidency. They have to carry up on a major responsibility on behalf of the president of the Republic of Liberia. So yes, the president is a good man, and the reason why I supported Mr. Weah, because I believe that he was a very great man to transform the Republic of Liberia. That's part of the reason why, despite I resigned government almost a year and a half ago, and I believe that he was.
So he resigned because of the ineptness of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mazwe Kimaya.
No. I mean, I told you, Jeff, on this issue. I resigned because I thought I needed some career advancement. I needed to move on. But I didn't resign because of any
Resigned
policy.
because Minister Mazwe Kimaya was not speaking to the deputy.
No. I didn't say that.
Minister,
Why should I maybe the reason?
and
I'm just saying to you. I'm just saying to
you
you.
talked to him many
I'm
times
just saying to
to
you.
desist from that. He did not do so. You felt
Listen to me.
you felt you could not face the social environment, which was a professional.
No. You reference what the president said about some ministers' attitude, right? I was saying to you, these are some of the issues that I will follow.
That's the same attitude that made you to resign of the
No,
Minister.
he didn't. I don't know if you.
The attitude of the Minister.
As a young professional man, I needed to move forward, and I thought it
But
was.
you know that the foreign policy of Liberia was zero under Mazwe Kimia, and you didn't, and you know that, and those are some of the things that made you to resign because under his reign, he
No,
could not
I
travel by himself
actually resigned
as a minister of foreign affairs unless he goes with the president, unless there is a delegation going somewhere he goes. He could not travel by himself. Under Mazwe Kimia, the foreign policy of Liberia is dead, and you know that.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not.
But you know that. I'm not saying you should
No,
say
no,
it,
no,
but
no,
you
no.
know.
Listen. I'm not the one to say that. I'm not the president of the republic to say the foreign now. The Constitution of the Republic of Liberia is very exclusive on this process, right? The president is the chief foreign policy architect of the country, so he understands it very well. That's why he appointed the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs enjoy his confidence up to today. So I wouldn't be the one to say the foreign policy failed on a Maxwell Kimia. No, I'm not saying this. What I'm suggesting, I didn't say this, and don't quote me on this process very clearly.
No, we're not quoting you,
What
but you are also aware of an independent workers union association
Yes,
under the regime of Michael Kenya.
independent Mofawa. Yeah, I heard about that. But I think independent Mofawa came about when I left the ministry already. When I was in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as the assistant minister. Listen, as assistant, I was one of the most proactive assistant ministers for public affairs. The history will said that I was one of the most proactive in the history of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Because I understood the role of
We were proactive, but
Robert
Robert Sami was brought in the picture, and you became your work was not done. Yeah,
No, no,
Robert
no, no,
Sami
no, no,
was
no,
doing
no,
the
no, no,
work.
no. Come on, how? Why you say that? Ralph Lamid did not
But either
usurp.
way,
Nobody usurped my function when I was assistant minister. Nobody dared try to usurp my function. Probably it happened when I left, but nobody dare usurp my function. Nobody. No soul dared usurp my function when I was active at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I left the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I said I needed to have career advancement because as a professional man, I love to work in a way that is possible that I want to work. If not, I needed to improve a career pattern, right? I needed to move on. So that's why I left. I did. Now, listen, every time in one life, if I served the role almost 3.5, 4 years, almost there about 4 years as assistant minister, I mean, that was just enough for me to say it's time that I move on. So that's why it was time to move on, right? And I don't have to time justify what all those things. And Jeff, I did that. And I was one of the Union Party folks was in my invite yesterday. They said you'll be in opposition for 6 years. I said, come on. I said, hey, do you know that I'm not on George hunting spree? No, I'm not one of them. I resigned government almost more than a year, 6 months ago. I'm not in government. So why can't you say I've been up? No, I'm not. I was passionate. And let me emphasize this. I was very passionate about the rule because I will always cherish the movement, the movement, that the president afforded me the opportunity to serve his government. So that is something I will always live with, right? And I believe that he was a very sincere man. He was.
But you are a competent president. It is government that
He
is
was
coming
bent on. He was bent on
with
pushing the country. That's why I
competent
supported
people.
President
So
Weah.
I
And
don't think it will be
I don't
bad.
regret my decision on supporting him. Come again?
Yeah, let me interject this. Now, it's a good thing that she didn't, unlike the others who did not think about advancing their career and what who they want to be. They left there, the 6 years ended, and then they didn't achieve anything academically. You left 1 year ago, 1 year, 6 months ago. I think that was the best thing to do to go and develop your career. And you have a new government, even though you supported the re-election of President George Weah, but Ambassador Bogle has said he will run a government of inclusion with competent people. I think you have the competence that the government that is the new
Yeah,
government
Jeff.
is
Honestly,
striving
no,
for.
my concern is not my concern currently is not looking onto this process about. Listen, what I intend to do, and this is what I'm going to do. I intend to be very proactive in terms of our democracy because we have a very serious stake in 2029. That's what I can say to you. I intend to be very proactive in terms of our country politics. Very proactive in terms of the country politics while I
So
continue
you're going to be involved
advancing
in
myself in terms
2029.
of going to school. I want to take more time to advance myself in doing a lot of academic work and the rest of that. But again, I will be very proactive in terms of what the role we're going to play for 2029 and moving forward. So my quest now, it's not the issue about now. There are other folks that are saying so they are now Hershing, right, trying to lobby behind the scene for a government appointed job. No, that's not my concern. Absolutely. Let me say that to your dear friend and brother, and we built the chemistry over the years, and it will be more deep in moving forward, but that's not my concern. There are some folks that started even coming after us and say, no, don't worry about this. If you want a job that you know some other people is high, so go and sleep. Don't lose sleep. Go for it, and some other people is not coming after some of those things. But again, our main concern is for the country to move on. Now, Mr. Bouaka is now the president-elect of the Republic of Liberia. What can we do to allow Mr. Bouaka to operate in a space that he will push our country forward? Now, the last time, for instance, I said to folks that I was driving on Lofa Road about 70 to 80 miles per hour. Now, what are those mechanisms that we will encourage Mr. Bouaka to continue on the road that is almost into Sai to move to the Banga Manicam, to the Manicam side of it, beyond the 4 years old, border side? What are those mechanisms? And how can we as citizens play our individual role to ensure that the president-elect or President Bouaka will initiate those different, for instance, from the Rabat International Airport now to Monrovia, what expedition mechanism can we do? That's the face of our country coming into. Those are coming to the country. The road is not in good condition now. It's under construction. How can we expeditiously complete said project? So how can we help Mr. President to put into place major policy process that will help improve the agricultural sector, the private sector? How can we also, and we young intellectuals that are coming back to the country, will come and deploy our skills and help the country move on? That should be our concern, not about people saying we will give this person better liberal or no better liberal. No, it's about time that we all collectively come together, work with the president, the new president coming in, the old president. Now, it's good that the president of the outgoing president of the republic and the president of the republic set up the issue executive order establishing the transitional team. Now he named out the team and also asking the incoming president to name 20 persons that will also work. They will both work because the president is chairing this and the co-chair of the transitional team as per the executive order issued by the president going to be the president-elect. So yeah, a lot of things we got to see. Now, how can we work also with this president-elect to reconcile a country that is deeply divided in terms of the recent past elections, right? So this is part of the process that we needed to move on. Now, if he said that he's going to have a governor of inclusion, yes, good. That's wonderful. Have a governor of inclusion, but foster the issue of reconciliation because he is the president. At the end of the day, he is the president of the Republic of Liberia. This issue of governor inclusion, no governor inclusion, he will decide who he's going to hire to work for him. And that's why Article 56 of the Constitution, Article 54 of the Constitution gave him that poise, right? And also in 56 is saying, if you appoint all of those you come into appoint, they also are the will and pleasure of the president. So yeah, that's a unique pattern that we always have to begin the process of evolving and pushing very strongly that this country is moving to a very unique line of our democracy. How can we begin the process of fostering this? Now, the democratization process is on course. The maintenance of this process is what every Liberian will have to collectively come and say we together, we need to initiate this kind of a matter and stop the shenanigans and stop the backstabbing and begin the process of saying it's about time that we initiate a country that we all have to move to, right? So we all will have stake in this process. And as the new progressive mantra will always say, it's about time that we catapult the image of the country instead of saying individualism. No, it's not individualism. It's not self-aggrandizement. It's the process about pushing and pushing what we call moving Liberia forward. The Liberian Renaissance, right? It's collective process moving on, projecting our country interest and ensuring that Mama Liberia will always be protected and we will seek the interest for everybody. So that's the kind of a country we want to see today, right? So yeah, it's over. The campaign immediately. The results started pouring in. I can recall I was driving from Lofa on Tuesday night of the 14th of this month when I got the first result just entering into Banga. On my way back that night from Lofa, I said, campaign is over. It's about time now that we wait for the results, no matter come what may. And immediately when the polling centers closed on Tuesday, on the 14th of November, what I said to a comrade, I said, hey, the Liberian people are already decided. The fact that they announced that it was 6 p.m., I said the Liberian people have decided already. We're not going to change anything. The decision has already been made. The only thing we are now deployed and waiting for is to get the results emanating from the people of Liberia. Period. The point, and that's what that's what unfolded on the 14th, and the issue of the Liberian poll is clear. Now, to see the results that emanated from the elections runoff, will say to you that the country is heavily divided. So the next president responsibility now is he got some Herculean tax ahead. One of the major is to reconcile the country moves through, because the most important aspect of this country, Jeff, is to ensure that we have peace and tranquility. If there's peace, we all will go about. We will sit down to nete sharp and swallow our duma, right? And that's it. It will be both from the CDC, from the Unity Party, from the Liberty Party, from the ANC, from all of the what's the party of Appleton? What Appleton Party?
Grassroots development.
Yes, from the Appleton Party, all of the political institutions will come to bear, and from the CLP, my own institutions, right? All of those political parties will come through the system. And then the only thing we will now want to look at, the emblems, the flag of the Republic of Liberia. That emblem they say the Republic of Liberia. It's our only common denominator. It's what we all can go after and protect. It's important that we do those things and allow the country to move on. Yeah, so this issue is not about who think about job, fashion, or hunting and the rest of that. No, it's not about that. The major role we all will have to focus on here is to see the country reconcile first and foremost and allow the incoming government the opportunity and provide the ambience to operate. And that's why we will have to play a very pivotal role as individual citizens of our country. That's it. As a citizen, and that's why a very good tribalist can be a very good nationalist. And that's why I always said to folks that don't understand, if you are a very passionate tribalist, you can be a very unique and experienced and committed nationalist, right? Because nationalism and patriotism come from a very wonderful tribalist. So I'm a proud Loma man, right? If you are a proud Loma man, you ought to see the collective picture. You can be a very unique and super proud Liberian citizen, because it is our unique diversity that come to bear and bring all of us together. Because if we are committed to our individual institutions, I mean tribes, for instance, and then we all come together, then we bring that huge and collective commitment to our country. That's why you see today the United States of America is great. It's the world's greatest country, because you have folks from all walks of life across the globe that are bringing the thought processes to bear to make this country very powerful. That's why that country is so powerful today. So we can do the same with our country. We have 15 counties. All of the 15 counties, we have, for instance, the county that I'm from, that county alone got 6 tribes of our 16 tribes in the Republic. It's peak diversity in Lofa County alone. Right? In other counties, we have 1, we have 2, but Lofa alone got 6 of them. It's part of the process of seeing how we can forge on. We need to foster peace among ourselves. This time about political, I understand it's difficult. It's going to be very difficult in terms of this kind of to transition from being part of the ruling establishment and see yourself back in opposition. It's a very bitter sweet. It's something that many people wouldn't want to see, and many people didn't see coming, right? So, but the fact that the Liberian people took the decision, we need to humble ourselves and respect the decision of the people of Liberia. That's what I can say to you.
We need to humble ourselves and respect the decisions of the Liberian people. The voice of the former Assistant Minister for Public Affairs and the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Sylvester Kovawu Peewee. Let's hear from you, folks. It's about time, because we'll be relaying the Spoon Talk at 8:30. Let's hear from you. You've been listening. View the Punch Viewpoint on Punch 107 FM and Punch TV Live. My name is Jefferson. I'm here alongside Honorable Sylvester Kovawu Peewee, former Assistant Minister for Public Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Let's hear from you on 0805616444, 0778-665-699. The numbers again are 0880561644, 0778-665-699. Let's pick our first caller tonight. Good evening, your name and where you join us from, please. Hello. Okay, so we lost you. 0805616440778 Good evening, your name and where you join us from, please. Hello, you are live.
Good evening.
Good evening, your name and where you call from.
Okay, my name is Jimmy Greenlaw. I'm calling this to
Go ahead.
May I appreciate you, but also may I appreciate your experience for the experience. Also, with my countrymen. But that's something I like to ask you because normally I used to listen to you on Radio Media platform. You used to use all kind of fulfilled language and all kind of adjective words on this name on the different podcast. I like to ask you that you said in one of your posts that Honorable Joseph Bosker will never become president. So Honorable Joseph have been Joseph Bosker have become president. So what would be your take in this country? Because you came from the United States, you came to getting your kids there. I don't know. It's just kind of going to one like serious. If you are taking what they say, you want to embarrass yourself. You guys have started this country. So you should hold yourself responsible and accountable. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. But I don't know, was there any point in time, Honorable Pee-wee, was there any point in time you posted or said anything like Ambassador Bugger will never become president of Liberia?
You know, these are the kind of unfortunately counterproductive element we have in the country, and they would think this. And let me emphasize here that I did not regret running campaign for President George Manning Weah. But the federal I just spoke is unfortunate. These are the kind of loose elements we have around the place. I don't understand. I don't capture things, and you want to think that. So here's the thing. If you
Yes,
want to just
because I've
focus, come
never.
on a minute. I know time, and I ran a campaign that were policy driven. And let me say this to you. That's why I emphasize here, my brother. If you don't worry about things, I stood by what I said today. I don't regret my decision to canvass for President Weah. We are in a democratic space. I'm just saying now that elections are over, we needed to move on. That's what I'm saying. I'm not one of those that will come and say, hey, we don't do this, we don't do that, we don't do this. So probably he don't know what he's saying. He's one of those erratic element. I don't understand things that unfold behind the scene. He doesn't know me. So he said he wanted to win. Well, I left for purpose. I left to advance myself, my brother. If you had the opportunity to do, I would encourage you to do the same. But some people have been given a lot of opportunity to even go to school in Liberia. You fail to do it. So
let's pick another caller, Pee-wee. Good evening, your name and where you join us from, please.
Good evening, sir. How you doing?
I'm great, your name and where you join us from.
From Painesville.
Please go ahead, Eda.
Thank you. You know, of late, I've heard people saying that the results emanating from this ended election are divided Nigeria. I don't want to accept that. When 14 counties voted for President Weah in 2017, was the country divided? And if the country was divided, what did he do to bring about reconciliation? Every Nigerian has the right to vote for their choice. And that's what happened here. People are saying it because the state counties in the southeast voted for him, and Nimba or women voted for Wakai. Is that what divided this country? Let people stop this kind of thing. This country, it takes a serious precedent, to mend those broken fences that came about as a result of the civil war we had here. President Weah did nothing at all, absolutely nothing to bring about reconciliation. So he should not be preaching that Liberia is divided. Yes, we know that Liberia is divided, which he did nothing to bring together. And so I don't want to agree, with those who say Liberia is divided because people voted,
Thank you, Edinburgh. Thank you. Let me pick another caller. Good evening, your name and where you join us from, please. Let's hear you, Jefferson Sako.
Okay, thank you. I want to appreciate you can do at least only, but I think like what he said, elections are over, we need to move ahead. Well, let me build my concluding comments on this last caller. Yes, people are saying Liberia is divided, and I think I tried to also also join the color who just left the line that a little bit differently. If you put a division into perspective, and then I think I will have to discuss it. It is because of political division, because we were in different political parties, so that alone it was a political division, and each party was pushing for a specific goal. Now elections are over. I don't think we should base our thoughts and argument on division. Yeah, there's a need for reconciliation because I believe during the election period, people say things that they shouldn't have said. People, take other things that they did not to do. But overall, I think we are still using.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Namesake. I appreciate another caller. Good evening, your name and where you join us from, please.
Hello.
Good to, let's hear you, Prophet.
Yeah, what the president has said that some of the ministers for the cause for the defeat, I 100% agree with him because this election, even the run up, there were some of the ministers are living in our community without their presence or not sure. No way. Even though people do gas when you go to them, my brother, when you go to them to even help you. Some who are dying of phone call, my brother. They put the children outside, no school, you go to the gate and over the front, the money you will be there in the area. The only one, some of them only wanted for themselves. So the other material, the Liberian, the voted. What you are seeing the result of it. So I just ask that they say it must be a blessing to the new government and they coming to the power. President to all, and the president will be everywhere in the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your point. Let's speak this caller. Good evening. Go ahead. So because this government started, it does not mean that the incoming government cannot mend the wounds. It's incumbent upon the government elect to make sure that those issues of division, whether political division, whatever the form of division is, it's incumbent upon them to address it, which is fair enough.
Jeff, we lost some. Jeff, are you there? Hello?
Thank you. Thank you. Let's pick another caller. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from, please. Go ahead. Your name and where
I,
you call
I,
from.
I'm me getting the callers, Jeff.
Go ahead.
So the issue of, first of all, I want to, comment on the guest and to the issue of, divisive or division in this country. President, we are he person who has brought, division into this country. So myself can attest to it that when President we are went for me, yes, and most of them were speaking to the nation, addressing the nation. He always recognized people that, from the first editions, all that stuff. He highly recognized the entire country or the entire citizens of this country. He would distinguish, between the other political parties and the political parties. He would also show the difference that, yes, these are my people, so you can call them, sedition when you want to call me. But people who, we're trying to address the issue of Maurice Fuma. He said, no, I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to citizen and reaction. I don't care how you feel. That's the known as the president of the nation. That, tells you that president, we are in a new president.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's pick the last caller. You have to lower the volume of a monitor. Your name and where you join us from. Go ahead. Your name and where you call from.
Hey, Mohammed Sekou, I'm calling from Rica. Thank you so much for the topic under discussion. But my question is to the former minister of Interior. At the time he was telling the government, he knew that the country was divided. What was the message to the president? He was telling the present government. Thank you.
Thank you. The last caller, the privileged caller. Your name and where you join us from. Hello. I think.
But I'm gonna let me tell you that we will fight for the thing about the patch because there are a lot of division related about president in patch. Even some of our affected from it when the recruitment process of ongoing in America. We saw what happened with what I call up the effective process when I'm not. You cannot be a first or second rule. You cannot be a point on the first two pass on them and I will recruit them. Whether the police sector, the first listing I was taken down during the recruitment process at Brain, which is compared to the police ballot, the listing, coordination overnight and re-establish another process for people to solve their needs. So we pray that JMB will be able to reconcile the country of good manner that everybody come from.
Thank you so kindly. JNB, the president-elect, must reconcile the country. Former Minister Sylvester Peewee, you listen to the callers. We can't keep picking them because we're out of time already. So please respond and then let's get your parting comment.
There was a time I didn't listen to most of the callers. There was a time that I got buff up of the line. But again,
Yes.
basically, the reason what I said, and again, we don't have to go into a kind of a back and forth on this process about what I meant. One of the callers talked about winning 14. Winning 14 counties, and now this election was heavily contested, right? The results of this election is around 20,518 votes difference if you were to compare, or 562 votes difference. That's the differential we're talking about here. As compared to 2017 elections, the margin was somehow huge, and so I'm not talking about the division, the process of people say, oh, well, it happened. And again, they'll learn to understand that if it didn't happen yesterday, that means it can happen today, right? We needed to push the country and move through the system and move through the cracks of things and understand that where we headed. And I'm one person that's saying that. I'm not saying some of these things because I'm saying it to get favor for anybody. I'm saying it. That's what I said to you, Jeff. This part of the role we're going to play. We're going to be very proactive. We're going to be very engaged with the process, with the political process in the country. We will, and thank God, the mass of liberal are now being democratized in terms of speaking out. Now, this elections, one of the very president that was ever in the history of liberal criticized, president we have been criticized than any president in the history of liberal. He got a very thick skin,
No one went to jail for even insulting or attacking the presidency. No one, nobody whatsoever. So the democracy is very active when it comes to this. And that's why he adhered to it by keeping the process floating and moving. He commended and congratulated the winner in these past elections. So it's our role as Liberians. We need to come back. Let leave the vindictive action play and this kickback or backstabbing tendency that say, oh, because we won and the other side this. No. Somehow we're not going to relax and think people were going to come. And I said this to you. I didn't support Ambassador Boakai. I'm not going to pretend here to tell you I've supported Ambassador Boakai. Right? There were folks, for me personally, no, but there were folks that came from the other side that also worked in this Ogre administration. So, folks, we have to understand clearly the role people will have to play. Some of these people that are crying, pushing, saying some of the things they're saying, they know where in terms of policy process. When we're talking about major policy decision, changing policy thinking, they know we're close to it. They just want to sit and say things that they're not. That's what the fellow said. I said, Boakai would never be president. No, I didn't say that. I said to folks, and I'm on record, that I support President Weah because I believe in his leadership tenacity.
You didn't say
That's what
so.
I said.
You didn't say so. The only person that is on record of saying that I know of this is Abraham Gosson Weah. He constantly said on his platform that Boakai will never become president.
So I didn't say that. How would I say I was one of those that was saying the election process? So listen, but I stayed by the ground. But all of those that I said during my campaign process, I was legitimately involved into a campaign process. I was not. Everything that I deployed was never any element that went against electoral process by our country. It did not. My intent, my statement, these were deliberately careful, crafted statements. And they were within the ambit of the Constitution of the Republic. I did not do anything to incite or anything unlawful. And let me state here for the record that the support for President Weah in 2017 and 2023, it was intentional, it was well thought of, and I stand by my decision to do that. Now, moving forward to 2029, we said that there's going to be a totally different game. Probably I may declare my intent to be president of the Republic of Liberia. Right? The 2029 process of carefully. We are launching a process about seeing how we are scouting the process for 2029. We have most of our leaders. We're bringing the new progressive process to bear. That's what we're going to focus on. We're not worrying about getting government job. No, absolutely no. Government job have never done anything extraordinary for us in terms of getting anything. If you want to enjoy yourself and send it up, try to look around other area. That's what we're trying to do. We're looking for partnership now to see how we can bring some investors to Liberia to invest in other areas. That we sit down and get something up. That's what we're trying to push.
Money. Yes.
Right? To help the country, make the country stable, encourage most of our friends and partners that we know that will come back home and do some investment in the country. But we will be very proactive in terms of our political process in the country. 2029 is a very, very crucial political year for us. Because the current president, the incoming president will not be contesting. I'm very sure that he will not be on the ballot 2029. 2029, he wouldn't be on the ballot 2029. So it is the time that we are beginning the process of putting forth a thought process that will have to prepare us for 2029. We are looking at the bigger picture, my dear brothers. Those of you that don't know some of us, we are looking at the bigger picture. And that's the reason. And don't think that we can leave on Liberia. Tomorrow, we got serious stake in Liberia. We got properties in Liberia, properties that you will see, you only think of, we got them there. Yeah, we got something that we're doing, things that will come, people will say, that's why we did everything to preach the message of peace. And thank God, people were thinking everybody was scared. Thank God, President, we just did the needful. And we should commend him for that. Yeah, Jeff. So I'm always open to this kind of an interaction. Again, it's not the process that we meant to go the way we went on there. That on the absentee quarter that came in, and probably we're not responsible for him being, the way he behaved for his Iraq. And I'm something else, but somebody can be overly. He was just overly myopic in terms of his analysis. He had not been following.
I
Probably he
think
may
that
have
was
some
unfair.
comprehension problem. And again, we are not responsible
Yeah,
for those.
that was unfair. You had never said you
Issue
never
about that. Probably he didn't
said that
comprehend. He didn't
president
comprehend
would
well.
never be
People
president.
listen. People can be having the exuberance to listen, so they impair their comprehension sometimes. So I'm not whatsoever. If you somewhere go and farm, you gotta listen to him. So you go and find someone a pound to drink. Probably will restore your thought process very well. Then you listen to him well the next time. So don't come on with misleading information. Robbie. Probably he's sitting around somebody you want to impress them, and I mean you wouldn't use my name to impress anybody.
I don't think that's the
So stop
case.
that.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's seeing you like somebody as a. I don't think. Yeah,
Probably. No, the need some.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably. No, that
that is misrepresentation.
our own Lufa brother. They say Lufa, Lufa making something, right? So
Mhm.
this envious spirit is still growing or too much. It's
So
unfortunate.
Sylvester has never said any of
We need to
his
depart from
posts,
those kind of
or
line.
Minister Sylvester, former minister, has never posted anything that, or even speak about Ambassador Burka never becoming a president. He has never said that. He's a policy-driven individual,
We
and
stuck to the
so
policy, and these are the policy prescriptions that we need to stick to time to time. We will have to juxtapose policy A versus policy B and come up with the facts and fact-finding thing and do things. That's what we thought.
it is his right to support whichever candidate he wants to
It's my
support.
right. It is his
Even
right also that he's
the
supported.
local county, you know that the Lufian dynamic vote. If it were not for Nima County, there was going to be a serious problem here. So let's leave that. Let's leave that. It's embarrassing again attacking again attacking the major league. So this is what
Is it what? Is it?
this is what this platform is about.
Was it what, Jeff?
It says Messiah attacking the colors.
No, I'm not attacking the color. I'm just,
Just clarifying, just clarifying.
I'm
I'm
just
happy.
clarifying. I didn't do that. No, I'm not attacking. I
Yes.
cannot attack. Man, I can't attack. But again, yeah, that's the spirit of elections.
So we're taking your parting comment now.
Oh yes, I'm very good to be on the show. This my debut appearance on the show. I can recall the closing of the campaign that you wanted me on the show, and due to some uncontrollable circumstances beyond my own control, I didn't make it that day. But again, I think it's a wonderful time, and I look forward to sharing your platform time to time. And if I'm
Sure,
allowed to do it, I would do. I would do.
it will.
You know, so
Our CEO has said to us that this is not a unity party station, even though he supposed Ambassador Burka, but this station is an independent station. It's open to anybody, any professional individual that want to come here and catapult their thoughts and articulate in the formal manner that befits the society. So it's an open.
we are soldiers that go beyond ambushes.
Yeah. Unlike the other side where they don't provide an atmosphere for everybody to get involved. They're just one side.
I don't know the other side you're talking about.
You know the side. You know the side.
But which side now? I don't know the other side you're talking.
You know the side. You mentioned the side when your opening comments. You mentioned the side and linked me to that side before that. Anyway, let's
what side? They play user B.
You know that.
But nobody.
Radio Kigali.
No, I don't think that's the name. But listen, I would differ with that nomenclature, if you will. Let me put it this way. Sometime with the process about the political issue, it can just be tense, but to equip the need to that, no, I would vehemently disagree. But again, there was a time, not a time, all the time I appear, you invited me on the show and the rest of that. But again, let me say to you, Jeff, that there are a lot of things that unfold sometimes during the political time. When the missiles are hitting politically, sometimes the tensions are high. You expect these political missiles to come from all walks of the directions, the rest of that. But again, now that we're trying to settle in, but again, it's key that folks will have to be mindful of statements and issues that have been made and the way we engage situations that we unfold as we move through in life. It is always important to know that you behave today as though, and that's part of the reason that you don't burn bridges, you don't break bridges, you don't burn them, you don't destroy them, because you need the bridge to cross to the next side tomorrow and the rest of that. That's kind of a discipline that we instill in me and my siblings by our parents, right? So to learn to be great people, to learn to understand what friendship is all about. So tomorrow I can come to Liberia and call Jeff, I'm here. Can we go to the GB shop and I need to drink some beer? We'll sit on the tree and drink beer and other things, right? I'm getting some news that Jeff is likely to be probably one of the assistant ministers, or one day
From
Jeff
where?
I will get
From where?
somewhere also. One day I will hear that Jeff is deployed as one of these press attaché to one of those missions, either in New York or Washington D.C. or in Brussels or in London, right? These are
That would be great, but
all right.
it's
Press
too early to
attaché,
call. Yeah.
press attaché to the London mission, press attaché to the Brussels mission,
We
press
hope that
attaché
could be.
to the embassy in Washington D.C. or to New York, or press attaché in Rome, Italy. These are great cities. These are great countries, right? Where Jeff will go and play a role. That powerful voice will be, make news of it and do some major thing on behalf of the government. But again, yeah, a lot of things can unfold, Jeff. I
Yeah,
think
we wish that that can come to fulfillment. We have the
so
credentials. We will be open
or
to that,
or
but
or or
we are not
assisting
thinking. We are not thinking about that.
or assisting minister for public affairs, minister of foreign affairs. So you all the press attaché, all the press attaché, and then report to your office and the rest of that via Mika. But again, it's a wonderful time being on your show. These are just the comical side of things, and but again, you are competent enough to be to be deployed as press attaché on the assistant minister, the level of the of other
Yes,
information
yes,
or that
yeah,
of foreign
for
ministry. You're a
sure,
very competent
for sure.
man, and the rest of that. As for what I have said in things, I've already said as an assistant minister, I'm not saying I can never take a government job, but if I were to in the future, I can no longer come at the level of an assistant minister again. I have said that, so give the test of time, we move on, graduate from one stage, we have to move to the next stage and the rest of that.
Sure,
Probably
sure.
in anytime coming to government, anytime I desire to come and take government job, I'm still very young, if you will. I will now be talking about either deputy minister or minister proper. With the competence that I bring to bear now, I will be arguing, talking issue with any president, Mr. President, with my credentials and other thing. I think I'll be head of institution now instead of even going as deputy minister also. But that's part of the line. We should not just go to government because we want to get the government job. We should go to government job on the driven policy process, on where we learn, where we train in, and some of these things can be attributed to you on the basis of what impact you can do. What are some of the role you play in terms of these things and how you go about them? It's very important that we do those things. It's important that we try to learn our curve and execute those things very well. But try to rush yourself, everything you do good and do it at your best. And that will pay off.
Thank you so kindly, former Assistant Minister for Public Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Sylvester Kovao Peewee. Thanks for accepting our invite to join us on the Punch Viewpoint. Like you said, this will not be the only appearance. We will intermittently try to extend invite to you wherever the need arises. Thank you so kindly, and have a great time there in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, or New York.
You owe it. Comment. You bet.
Or Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
They
The
could
last
give
of
you
this,
a down.
I just just arrived. I just got back 2 days ago. So with the change of weather, is now we're now into the thick of winter here, and so and the East Coast can be as brutally cool as sometimes as So the cold is just setting in. So it is. So it was anticipated that I will see some of these things unfolding here, but I'll be good. I'm good. It's not COVID. It's not a type of, it's just our normal kind of cold but we know normally we can fight cold strong on our side. So I keep with a lot of the pepper toboggy sister stay the Sora stay my sister yet.
That's
And
it.
and the rest of that. So, but I'm doing some self medication, African kind of a medication because it's cool. I'm doing this, but it's not COVID rule. It's not COVID, so I'm good. I'm doing ginger and doing some Robitussin sorrow that I'm taking. That's going to rapidly relieve the fever and out of the headache and some pain and what have you. And the Robitussin been doing very well. So I'll be good. I'll be good. But yeah, but there's an assignment. So and the next time I come, then I will tell you so for now that your assignment is a homework for you. Go and think about it. Give me the answer. If you run there,
You
I'll
are in
run.
Washington. You are in New York. You are in New York. Okay.
So,
Thank you so
so
much.
okay, okay, buddy.
Thank you so
You bet.
much,
Thanks,
Honorable
thanks, thanks.
Sylvester Copper. there. Thanks for the time. Your expertise are good. Your articulation, you come with a vast experience when it comes to the workings of government policy-driven issues. We really appreciate your time on the show tonight. Kudos to you.
Thank you, Jeff. You bet. Next time. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, so folks, this is all the time we've got to be with you on the Punch Viewpoint. We are getting confirmation from the Spawn Talk shortly. We will relay the Spawn Talk. The Punch Viewpoint every weekday, Monday to Friday, 7 to 8:50 or 8:30, wherever it is. My name is Jefferson. Thanks for listening. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for your calls as well. Goodbye.
Punch Radio presents Viewpoint, a 1 hour interactive morning talk show that discusses trending issues of the day, be it political, social, or economic, and it also provides analysis for discussion while at the same time generating a public view on issues that matter most. That's Viewpoint on Punch Radio 106.7, Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. only